How's it going, guys? I just want to do a little idea of little Nofap motivation, semen retention motivation. So I just had this idea about. So this is basically an idea I had. I don't know if it's a download. I don't know. I just had this vision. So this is kind of the closest thing I could do to the drawing I had in my mind. But I basically, this represents two different lives. So this is the, let's say, sexually active. And this is the celibate. Retention. Life. Okay? So this one is a celibate retention life. This is the sexual active life. So I was just thinking, because I've had this kind of like back and forth between, should I keep retaining or not? I had a little period like, should be dating, whatever. And then I was thinking, and I had this vision. So I want to transmit this idea. So here we have, sexually active life. Obviously, in this life, you're having sex, you're ejaculating, whatever. You could be watching porn, not watching porn, whatever. So this represents, so let me explain. The axis represents sexual experiences, okay? And then this other things represents gems, like, rubies, sapphires, like different gemstones. And same here. So the X represents a sexual experience, and the gemstone represents a experience in your life that was magical, or a great experience, or something that really was magical, non-sex related. Okay, so when you're having a sexually active life, this is what it looks like. You have your sexual experience, and you have your one unit of magical moment. Okay, obviously this is not an exact measurement, but this is the basic concept. Okay, so the celibate retention life, you start like this. This is when you're sexually active, and this is when you start retaining. So you don't have any more of the X. And what happens is that as time goes on, your life gets more and more gems and more magic moments to it, more great experiences, more luck, and it just keeps building and building and building. And this is not a day-to-day. I mean, it does build day-to-day, but this is just an overview representation. This could be day-to-day, because technically each day you are increasing, but these gemstones represent the different types of experiences you have. So this is like a octagon. This is like I try to do a few different, but imagine all of them are like unique. So there are, there's like circles here, but it's like, because I couldn't figure out other, symbols to put, but imagine each one is like a unique gemstone, and each one represents a unique experience that is like a beautiful experience. So anyway, what I wanted to explain here as well, what I was also thinking, is the idea that, sex, if you're, I don't know how to explain this, but I was thinking to myself, if I come clean, I've had, I think around 35, different sexual partners in my life. And that's not really, a ton. It's a, I think a normal amount. But, most of the time, I've had sex, I don't know how many thousands of times, but it's been with like the same girl. So it was like I normally, you know, have a girlfriend, have sex a lot with her. Like I'm not really much of a player, and that was one of the things I was thinking about recently. But anyway, I was thinking, if you really think about it, I was thinking to myself, this X represents the sexual experience, and the reason that it's the same, X, 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 X. It doesn't matter. Don't mind the fact that it's an X. Just mind the fact that it's the same symbol, and that's because it's the same experience. Like, if I look back at all my sexual experiences, yeah, I've had, sometimes you have great sex, sometimes you have not so great sex, but it's essentially the same thing. Okay, I mean, I've even had like tantric sex, sex where we become one with God. I know this sounds crazy, but the third time I had sex, me and my sexual partner had a tantric experience. We connected with the divine, and we even lost like it was like she and myself lost like memory of some parts of it. Like it was like out of this world. And so I've had the highest form of sex over experience that you can have. So, and I've also had quote unquote normal sex, or even I have even had bad sex where it's just not that good. So but at the end of the day, it's the same experience. So if you think about it this way, this is what I was thinking about. It's like, so this is your life, right? It's like you want you don't want this, you know instead of this, you want this. Like, if you can, like, because you really don't have the choice, because if you retain, um if you're celibate, like that energy transforms and translates into beautiful experiences in your life. So it's really like you don't have a choice. You can either have the same sexual experience every single time. I mean, it's really almost the same. Like I'm looking back in my mind to all my sexual experiences. I mean, yeah, sex is great, whatever, but it's really the same thing. It's the same. It's the same, thing. So, I mean, I'm thinking like, wouldn't it be much nicer to, instead of having basically the same thing, which is like just basically pleasure. Like if sex didn't have any pleasure to it, like it would be, obviously you wouldn't do it. Like obviously it would be pointless, right? So because it's really, you know, just two bodies together, and yeah, well, there's the love aspect as well, but but it's really the same thing. And if you're celibate, um, instead of having that same experience of sex, you're gonna have more magical experiences, more magical moments, more better luck. Just those things are gonna transform into just better situations, better, things, better little gems in life. You know, just little things that the experience itself, the just more rich. But yeah, this represents like experiences. So it's like instead of a sexual experience, you're gonna have a different type of experience. It's not sexual, but it's magical. It's beautiful. It's like a jewel. You know, um, so so I was thinking to myself, because being celibate, like choosing to be celibate, is really like a hard thing to do. Like it's a hard decision, very hard, and it's I don't know, but I had this idea, and it kind of motivated me in a way, because it's like I already had sex. I already had my sexual experiences. I already know what it feels like to do this and that, and to be done this and that, and like I mean, I'm not like the most sexually experienced guy. Like, I haven't done like BDSM or any of this crazy stuff. But I mean, it's fucking the same. It's like almost the same thing. Like, it's just a little spicier sex, whatever. It's still sex. It's still whatever. So I'm kind of like thinking to myself, like, I already had these experiences. You know, I already had um, these sexual experiences. Like, do I want to keep having the same experiences over and over and over again, and sacrificing other, you know, magical non-sexual experiences? Like, not really. You know, if I think of my life, I want it to be filled with jewels and diamonds and all these gemstones, um, that are each unique and different, versus having my life filled with a few little gemstones and a bunch of exes or whatever, a bunch of, you know, sexual experiences. Because that's really what it kind of is. Like, we have a certain amount of time in our life, and 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 you're either gonna feel that with, you know, the beautiful magical experiences that come from retention, or you're gonna fill them up with sexual experiences. You know, yeah, they have, like I said, the sexual experiences have their merit. You know, they have their, you know, it has its beauty. You know, because it's like, if you're having sex with somebody that you love, it's obviously, you know, a beautiful experience, but it's kind of the same thing. So it's kind of the same experience over and over and over again. So I think I want to have a more rich life where all my, like, instead of having the same experience over and over and over again, you know, I can say to myself, you know, I already had sex a bunch of times. I already, you know, been with different types of women. I already, you know, I already experienced that. I don't need to keep experiencing it. I prefer to retain and let, you know, life show me different experiences, because you're gonna attract different things. You're gonna attract different people, different feelings, different, you know, everything's gonna be better, but it's gonna be different. So, because when you think about it, when you're sexually active, ejaculating a lot, said with sex or with porn, your life is pretty much the same. You're the same guy. It's the same thing. But when you're retaining, like, there's actually like a difference, because each day is like better. Each day you're stronger. Each day you're smarter. So there is a progression to it. The experiences are different. It's like when you're having sex, it's like, or ejaculating a lot, it's like everything is on the same everything is on the same level. It's like your friends, your experiences, it's like, it's all kind of like in this level. Your luck, everything is kind of in the same thing. But when you retain, it's like your experiences, everything seems to, yeah, you're not always the greatest day, but it's like everything starts to, you know, get better, and it, and so and the reason you don't have this is because it's like you're changing this for this one for this one. You know what I mean? It's like every time you have a sexual experience or sexual release, it's like you're not letting this happen, and therefore this is what's sacrificing. These are the X's, and these are all the gemstones. So I don't know. I hope this made sense. Just had this idea. I wanted to share it. Thank you.